Welcome, innovators, business owners, entrepreneurs, technology experts, academia, government R&D communities, and members of the North Carolina innovation ecosystem. This is Defense Technology Talks, hosted by the North Carolina Defense Technology Transition Office, or NC DEFTECH. This podcast will showcase various technologies with local and national experts who aim to solve complex national security problems. In the coming weeks, we will highlight North Carolinians with the potential to, or those that have positively contributed to enhancing the capabilities of our warfighters, law enforcement, and first responders. We will also feature government leaders in research and development who have helped shape the future in this domain. These podcasts are just one of the many free services provided by the North Carolina government to assist the North Carolina innovation ecosystem to thrive and provide solutions to our nation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Defense Technology Talks. We got a short one today, but it's going to be a heavy hitter. So today I have Kathy Jensen. She is a City Council District #1 here in Fayetteville, and she's going to talk about why AUSA is coming back. And this is going to be a great opportunity to discuss like the greater Fayetteville area at large, but you got to understand that the AUSA Warfighter Summit and Expo is a follow-up to the Defense Technology Summit that is happening on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, you're going to have warfighters engaging with businesses in the local community. But without further ado, I'll pass it over to Kathy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why should we care that AUSA is coming back to Fayetteville? Thanks.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to talk about the warfighter that's coming to Fayetteville, North Carolina. So a little bit of history about me. I am an Army brat. I'm an Army wife. My husband was in the Army for 26 years and then proceeded to work for the government 15 years after that. I'm a Fayetteville native. I'm a small business owner and a mom of 4 boys. And I have grown up in Fayetteville and traveled the world with my husband and came back and got into politics and have been serving in this position for 10 years now. And I had the honor of being part of the NC MAC that started about a year and a half ago. So learning a lot and learning, which I've always known that North Carolina is a great place for our military and veterans. So with that being said, being from Fayetteville, which we are the largest neighbor to the largest military installation in the world, we are ecstatic to have the warfighter here and look forward to having them in our backyard and in our city for the second year in a row.
Yeah, and that's really impressive to get back to back. Like a large organization like the Association of the U.S. Army is huge, and they have a national presence. And for them to selectively pick, coming back to the Fayetteville, Fort Liberty now area to host this event is pretty important and it's prestigious. Like you may not think about it that way if it's not on the top of your mind, but there's a lot going on here in Fayetteville that makes it interesting and in North Carolina. And that's one of the things that we always talk about on the DEFTECH coffee call. And of course, with the North Carolina Military Business Center. And if you're paying attention to the news at all, you realize that North Carolina has been selected as the #1 state in the country to do business, right? So why would you not want to come here? And it's a great opportunity to communicate with those future leaders, people that are currently in position. And, oh, by the way, with the recent changes to military retirement in the state, you can also potentially find some workers that could benefit your organization long term if you come to the AUSA event. Now, and I think it's amazing that one, they're coming here 2 years in a row, but the other piece of it is that they actually, want to be here. And one of the reasons why is location. And if you're close to where all the action is happening, then you can do a lot more. But what are your thoughts on, is there something out there that we need to know about? Because I know the MAC is important and those are important pieces of the community, but how does the MAC influence the community to bring in more organizations like AUSA or just a better understanding of the military community here in the Fayetteville area?
So with the NC MAC, the NC MAC wants to make North Carolina the most friendly state for veterans. So, they have been working very diligently to do that. Now, speaking as Fayetteville and Cumberland County, I can say that this is proven that, we are in touch with our neighbor, that we are collaborating with our neighbor in many things, and look forward to keep doing business with the military. Things that collaboration can do to a city and a neighbor can help our military and their families with their quality of life. When I was at the AUSA conference in Washington, it was so interesting to me, because it was my first one, that how the quality of life is such an important role that they play in the AUSA and, just the military life as it is. And, with the combined efforts that we have with the ED, PNC, the MAC, Fayetteville, ED, and the city and the county, it just proves that, 30 years ago, being a military town was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah, that's a very true statement. And you can see a lot of the changes, and there's still changes going on. So like if you know Fort Bragg from 30 years ago didn't have the best reputation. And now you drive down the street anywhere in Fayetteville and there's construction, new businesses opening, people are moving in, new housing developments. There's a lot of stuff that's coming in. And oh, by the way, we're striking distance between the Research Triangle, Raleigh, and all the other stuff that's kind of booming in that direction as well. So there's a great opportunity, and it's all, along 95. You get on 95, there's a lot of good stuff going in both directions, north and south here in Fayetteville. But I don't want to keep you any longer. So I really appreciate you coming on today. But again, folks, next week, we've got the AUSA event that's going to be at the Crown Coliseum. It's a Warfighter Summit and Expo. I'll drop that in the podcast description. And on Tuesday, the day before, you've got the Defense Technology Symposium. Unfortunately, for those of you that may have missed the registration, it is sold out. So you're probably not going to be able to get in. However, if you are registered, it'd be a great opportunity to start networking with folks in the MAC, in the AUSA, and carry that conversation onto the floor at the expo in the following days. But we really appreciate you guys coming on, or I really appreciate you coming on today. And we look forward to catching up with you next time. Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate all your work.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Defense Technology Talks, hosted by the North Carolina Defense Technology Transition Office, or DEFTECH. The views expressed in this broadcast are solely those of the individual contributors. As indicated, DEFTECH does not take responsibility for those statements or opinions and accepts no responsibility or liability for any inaccuracy or omissions reported during this program. The content and interviews are fair use for instructional purposes and to build awareness for the North Carolina innovation ecosystem. The full version of this presentation has been uploaded to our Mobilize platform. Mobilize is just another free service provided to you to access more national security and business collaboration opportunities. You can sign up for more information at deftech.nc.gov. Join us soon for the next podcast coming to a platform near you. DEFTECH is a subsidiary of the North Carolina Military Business Center and receives its support from Fayetteville Technical Community College.